What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Darian is Fishing. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. I make a lot of fishing YouTube videos, but as you can see in the thumbnail of today's video, I'm doing this huge unboxing, the biggest package I've ever gotten from 6th Sense, and I'm pretty certain, these are rods. I've never got a package of rods from 6th Sense before, but I'm pretty certain that's what's inside this box. I'm gonna do a completely unbiased, very honest review of these rods. They are not paying me to like these rods. They're not paying me to tell you you have to buy these rods, and they're not paying me to only use these rods. They're paying me to be honest about what I think about these rods. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. That's my one objective for this video, is to give you guys an honest review of 6th Sense fishing rods. I don't even remember what's in here. I think there's a dozen. There's either 12 or 13 rods in here. So I'm excited about getting out on the water, trying these rods and breaking down each one of them, so that you guys can better understand what 6th Sense offers as far as rods goes, and then maybe make a decision to purchase if you're interested. And if you are interested, you can save on anything from 6thsensefishing.com by using my code DC10 at checkout. Now let's jump out into the water and I'll teach you guys, and we'll unbox this big package. And then let's find out what makes the coolest thumbnail. So
you want me to be filming this?
Yeah, just so I can pull a screenshot like we did the last time. So do you think it would be cool standing here? I can do like a...
That would be cooler.
Should I stand in front of my boat and do this?
Yeah.
You know, as you step back, the focus changes.
Yeah.
Should I squat down like this or like?
Yeah, that's good right there. That's cool. Do one more just in case you don't like it.
Okay, let me wipe this smudge off the front of the screen real quick. And remember what, just to make sure you get, once you find a cool pose that you like,
just stay still.
Well, not only stay still, because it only takes a split second to get the right shot, but adjust that knob just a hair to make sure you've got it perfectly in focus. Which one do you think looks coolest? Like, should it be like this, or up, or I could be like...
Either one. No, I don't like that. It looks like you're pooping. That one's good.
That's everything out of the box. One last thing, if you're a subscriber to my channel already, essentially this video is filmed after I've already filmed like 10 other videos. So I'm gonna post this video now, but there's gonna be like maybe 10 more videos after this one where I'm still using Quantums. I don't have any of these rods. I'm never gonna bash Quantum. I've used them the last many years. I love them, but I'm no longer working for them. And so now I just get to be honest and use whatever I like, which is I'm very excited about. So first thing I noticed about these rods is they all come in their own, seems like they would probably be disposable. I would say they're reusable, but I will not be reusing these rod covers just because I've got rod gloves, or the 6th Sense rod sleeve, whatever they're called, rod socks or rod sleeves. Be careful when you do this with a knife. So, like I said, every one of these rods comes in its own little rod sleeve, which has printed on the side the model, like Sensory Series 7.3 Heavy. So I got Sensory 7.1 Medium Heavy. I got Sensory 7.7 Heavy. And I think that's all of my Sensories. Yep, and they're also color-coded, which is nice too. So that feels like 3 rods, unless they're double packed, I don't know. All right, now we get to the Divine. Looks like I got 2 Divines, 7.3 medium moderate, and a 7.8 heavy fast action. So we got 2 of those. We got a Unicorn, 6.11 medium heavy Unicorn, and then 2 Lux rods, 7.11 medium heavy, 7.5 extra heavy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rods came in. So I'm gonna start with the Unicorn. That's probably the one I'm most excited about seeing because again, it is the most expensive. And yeah, let's break this sucker out. Ooh, this thing feels sick. All right, I've never had a rod that feels like this before. So I don't know what to do with all this foamy stuff. Dude, this rod is so light. So as you can see, it's got kind of this really cool handle. It's not cork or foam on the bottom. It's like a real sensitive type material. There's a little bit of cork, a little bit of foam right there with a really nice Fuji reel seat. And wow, this is really sick. This rod is so light. I cannot get over how light this rod is. I'm just gonna slide this I got an old EXO reel to put on it. This isn't the reel I'm actually gonna put on it. I just wanna feel the balance of it with a reel sitting on it. Man, that is a cool ass little rod. All right, so that's the Unicorn series. I would say it's got micro guides for half, and then like a middle size guides all the way up. So yeah, it's a 611 medium heavy, and it feels like that's about true. Maybe it's a little on the light side. Might be a good popper rod. Anxious to throw that today. Might be a good small crankbait rod. Next up on the price side is the Sensory series. Start with a 7.7 heavy. I've never had a 7.7 rod before. Obviously I use a lot of 7.6. 7.7 is 1 inch taller than that. 1 inch longer. All right, so these I've seen on the internet. They're very cool. Fuji guides. It's always good. Know they're putting quality into them. This is the 7.7 heavy. It's got a foam on the tip still. Man, I can't get over how light these rods are. That's the first thing I'm noticing. Every one of them's light. I just hope they're strong because I set the hook a little bit too hard. But I mean, these guys are from Texas. They're used to pulling on big ones, so I know the rods have got to be strong. I love the feel of this rod already. I think this is one. I got the 7.7 heavy for a like a big football jig rod. It's gonna be perfect for that. I might even be able to wind. Might even be able to wind a swim bait on it or something out deep. That's very, very cool, very lightweight. It's got a full foam handle, as you can see. I love that full. I also like full cork, to be honest. But that feels really good, very lightweight, feels good in the hand. So it's gonna be a good football jig rod. And also shout out to Billy Lawson for kind of helping me pick out which rods I should start with. 7.3 heavy, I've been using a 7.4 Quantum heavy. So this 7.3 heavy is what I'm hoping I get to use as kind of my workhorse rod as far as power stuff goes. If I want to pick up a jig, if I want to tie on a swim bait, if I want to tie on a swim jig, like this is kind of a big Texas rig in the grass, or a Texas rig in the grass, something where I know I'm pulling some fish out of some heavy cover, probably setting a hook pretty hard. Maybe a chatterbait, maybe not on this rod, I'm not sure, but I'm excited to play with this one for sure because this 7.3 heavy seems to be my like kind of go-to length for an all-purpose rod. Full foam, Sensory series. A lot of people say this is their absolute favorite rod in the entire 6th Sense rod lineup. I'm excited about having that one. And then now the 7.1 medium heavy. This rod, again, another all-purpose type rod. Probably gonna be a good spinnerbait rod, be a good jig skipping rod, small Texas rig. Probably if you cast a Senko on a bait caster. 7.1 medium heavy. Again, crazy light. Looks are superb. Probably one of the best looking rods I've ever held. I just hope they perform as well as they look, because the look is sick. I don't know what kind of blank this is. NanoSense Graphite Matrix. The rod blank looks really, really cool. It's kind of got some like rigidness to it. I almost feel like you get a paper cut on it. But I know you obviously you're not going to, but it feels really, really cool. I'm actually going to put my that Chronarch I'm going to put on this rod, 7-1 medium heavy, and play with that one today. I'm probably going to throw a buzzbait on that rod today, so I'm excited about that. Now, going down to the Divine series. I think these are, all right, Divine. Next up, I'm gonna start with the 7-8 heavy. This is a rod that Billy Lawson said is a great swim bait rod, a big swim bait rod, like I'm sure a glide bait, an Alabama rig, and something I've been throwing a bunch is that Arashi glide bait. I throw the big bull shad pretty often, so I'm anxious to see how big I can go on this rod. Again, this is a 7-8 heavy Divine, coming in at $199. Okay, so similar style handle as the Sensory series. It's a little bit beefier though. It feels a little bit more power. It's got a little bit bigger butt, like a fighting butt here in the back. Just feels like it's got more power. Like that's just truly the first thing I'm thinking of when I'm holding all of these rods, or this Divine, is it's a little bit heavier of a blank. It's a little bit more power of a rod. When I'm bombing this big swimmer, that's what I want, is a longer handle, and I want confidence in the strength, and I think that's what I'm going to get with this one. Still is light, it just, I can tell this is a little bit beefier of a blank than that Sensory was, but again, this 7-8 heavy, fast action Divine. And then this one is actually a spinning rod, the 7-3 medium spinning rod. I didn't know that I ordered any. I don't know if this rod's out yet or what. I don't know. I didn't realize I ordered this one. 7-3 medium, very interesting size, and this one could go one of two ways. If it's a little bit of a heavy medium, it could be a good, let's see here. That feels like a pretty light, what did I say, medium or medium heavy? Medium, yep, very accurate. They call this an all-purpose rod, and I would say that's going to be pretty true. It's got a long handle though, very long handle. I'm going to go with a ledge fishing type spinning rod. So either I'm throwing a shaky head out deep and I want a little bit of extra length for a longer cast, or I also throw a Nico rig out deep a lot, and I throw a drop shot out deep a lot where I'm actually casting it. I'm not just dropping straight down. Personally, when I drop straight down, I like a little bit shorter of a rod. So this one's gonna be sometime where I want to make a longer cast and then have that little bit of fighting power with that rod butt, you know, tucked in. So yeah, there you go on that 7-3 medium spinning rod, and extremely lightweight. So this one definitely feels different than that 7-8 heavy. Obviously it's a much different rod, but this one feels like it's in the wrong, this blank could be a little bit of a different series. It's such a light blank. And now last but not least is the Lux series. We got a 7-5 extra heavy fast and a 7-11 medium heavy. That's the Lux Cranker, which I'm excited about. All right, so Billy Lawson claims that this 7-5 extra heavy is a great punching rod. I think a lot of people are used to punching on a 7-10, 7-11, 8-foot rod, but if anybody knows a good punching rod, it should be Billy, as he's a guide on, well, Texas lakes, and he fishes around giants a lot. So I trust the opinion of the man. If he says it's a good punching rod, well, I'll be dang, I'm gonna give it a good shot. So I'd just say by the feel of it, it doesn't, kind of just feels like a regular rod, not too, it just feels regular. It definitely has that fast tip, so it's gonna be good for pitching, have a little bit of fast tip, but still be able to get some power out of that rod when you horse a fish out of a mat. Feels good in the hand. And now the very last one, arguably my favorite style of fishing, is deep cranking and throwing a big C20, C25, 10XD. All of those things are really fun to me. And so I personally go with a graphite rod when I'm throwing a 10XD or a C25. Personally, I like going with a graphite rod. because that bait, I've said this before, that bait's so big, it's got such big treble hooks and it's so heavy, fish are they're gonna throw the bait really easily. So what you want to do is when you hook one on a 10XD or a C25, you want to hit that fish and then wind him to the boat. Don't fight him. You're not trying to play him. It's one-on-one battle, and I want to get him to the boat as quickly as possible. So I want this big, heavy graphite. This is a medium heavy, moderate action. So it's going to give the fish a little bit of fight. Perfect bend in that rod too. It's got a good tapering bend all the way through the rod. But basically, when I hook up with a 10XD fish or a C25 fish, I'm hooking into him, making sure he's got it, and then just winding him back to the boat. And so I don't really like a glass rod on that. I don't think you hook them as good, or just personally, I haven't found the right glass rod if that is what should be used. I just haven't found the right one yet. So I'm excited to try this. I've been using a 710 heavy Quantum. And so this one's an inch longer, and this one does feel a little bit lighter. So I am very excited about trying that as well. All right guys, so as you can see behind me, I've got all my old Quantums, or some of my old Quantums. I'm gonna take some of those reels off, put them on these new 6th Sense rods and reline them really quickly just so I can get rigged up. And then there's a couple rods I'm gonna use today, and I'm just gonna roll footage and talk. Hopefully I catch some fish on this video, but really I'm just gonna talk about the feel of the rods in the next part of this video. And I'm gonna fish with hopefully all of them. Maybe not every single one, but I wanna get, in this video, I want to make a couple casts with most of these rods and just get a feel for what's going on with them, my honest thoughts on the first opinion of them, and then after that I'm going to go fish and film another video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, just kind of going over the rods. On the next part of this video, you're going to get a true in-action review of what I think about every one during the fishing, during the moment, and hopefully we'll catch some fish doing that. But appreciate you guys following along this far in the video, and yeah, the next part will be a little bit more entertaining.